sunset and dusk until dawn. Every minute of every hour of every day. On the front line, it's key workers keeping our country moving, putting themselves at risk to keep others safe, for the vulnerable, for the sick, for the young and the old. We rise to the challenge. We care, we protect, we help, we fix, we deliver for everyone. We will get through this, and it's thanks to our key workers. We're proud to represent heroes, and not all heroes wear capes. Key workers deserve recognition, protection and support. Get us on your side. Join us today.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Garrick from GMB London region, welcoming you to our first Sunday package with Hermes. Some of my colleagues are on today. We've got Steve Good from London region, who's the main London region officer. We have Andy Salter, and also we have Susie. Adam, pardon me, Adam, I've done it again.
Yeah, I was about to go there, Steve. Thanks.
Okay. Sorry, mate. And Ed Cross, who's the lead national lead, along with Susie, dealing with matters. Hopefully we can, all national. Hopefully we're going to see some messages come up in the comments section today, and we'd like to welcome you to this broadcast. Just a couple of very quick comments while we're broadcasting. Basically, it's really important to keep things respectful when you are commenting. Anything that needs privacy, we need you to stay private, because ultimately it might affect somebody else, and also there is a social media policy that Hermes has, so try and keep it respectful. We'd love to see your comments this afternoon. Hopefully you'll be able to pass those over to us in the questions or section on the various systems that you're using, be that Twitter, Facebook or YouTube. So these are all quite unique systems to be using all at once, and we're hoping it's all going to work just perfectly. So fingers crossed you can see us out there. So before I go into a long diatribe about what GMB London region does and is, I thought I'd let Steve Good introduce himself and tell you a little bit about him.
Hiya. I'm Steve Good. I'm the London region rep. I've been in Hermes for about 10 years. I'm a courier out of Newmarket. So I do know what problems you have. I will try and help wherever I can. Just email me if you've got a problem. If you need to see me, I will do my very best to get down to a depot to see you. Basically, just email me with problems and we'll take it from there.
Thanks very much for that. So if you'd also like to introduce yourself, Adam.
No problem. Hi, I'm Adam. I'm a rep for the London region as well. I'm based in Essex. I've been with Hermes for just over 3 years now. Again, I've been doing more kind of local rep work, speaking to people in other depots. I'm out of the Malden depot and talking to people for Thurrock. And just basically trying to help people as much as I can in my local area. If anybody, a lot of people have got my details, I can put my details up. And normally I pass things on to Ed, who normally assists me, and same with Mr. Garlick or Steve Good, who normally helps me as well.
Thanks very much. And I'll let Susie introduce herself now.
I'm Susie. I've been a courier for 11 years. I am based in the Northwest, so I'm the GMB regional rep for the Northwest and Irish region, and I am also the vice chair of the national committee. So if you can't get hold of Steve, you can try me as well.
Thanks very much, Susie. And last but not least, Ed.
Hi, yes, I'm Ed. I'm, well, with the help of Susie, Steve, and all the other reps, I try and be the chair of the national committee. I'm actually based in North Yorkshire, so I'm north of the Watford Gap. Like Susie, we try and steer the national committee, and we support everybody else as best we can, including Steve, Adam, and you know, it's great to be able to support those that are working with you on you know, in depots. I've been a courier for, I hate to say this, for about 26 years with Hermes and its various incarnations. I think that's about it for now.
Lovely, thanks very much. So just to tell you a little bit more about GMB London region, the region basically goes over towards Norwich, comes all the way back across towards Milton Keynes, comes back down towards London and across towards Essex, and basically stops just short of the well, just short of the southern side of the Thames, although we do have members in the south as well. And basically we cover multiple industries and trades, so from gas workers, which you may have been hearing about in the last few days where there's been a strike, down to schools and academies, aviation, from Menzies to BA. We're representing workers in those workplaces, as well as the couriers in Hermes, Yodel, and then Bid Food, Best Food, Wincanton. And my job as a regional organizer is to assist members and reps, and hopefully you'll get to learn a bit more about what I do during the course of this event today. The other thing I'm going to draw your attention to a bit later is the GMB Extra, which is some of the member benefits that the union have. And obviously, as we go throughout the day, hopefully we'll give you some updates as they come in. Still waiting for some comments to come in, but it is a new system and I am hoping it is working correctly. If not, if you can just drop us a line to say, no, it's not quite right, or there is a problem, then we'd love to know so we can make sure we are getting out to all of you. I know we do have one question, which is basically on late van deliveries that has already come in. So if I pass that message on, or the question on, to perhaps Ed and Steve, because I understand there are some changes on late vans now.
Steve, do you want to go, or do you want me to go?
Well, basically the vans are late. It is now not so much on the vans, it's from when you scan your parcel. That's when you can claim on the late vans, as far as I'm aware. I mean, Ed could elaborate a bit more on it, but as far as I know, it's from your first scan. That's when you can claim the late van deliveries. Basically, not when the depot opens, it's from the first scan, as far as I'm made aware. Over to you, Ed.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Yeah, we had a problem at the start where vans were on time, but the depot was open late. So the GMB worked with Hermes, we discussed it, negotiated with Hermes, and it was decided to change the late van, although it's still a late van payment. It was changed to be done on your first receipt scan. So even if the van's on time, but your depot's late, so you're opening very late, you know, you're an hour behind your normal scan, you can still claim the late van payment. Now, if anybody has any issues where they've claimed it and clearly the time is an hour later, please get in touch with any of us, Adam, Steve, Susie, or myself, or even if you're watching from other regions, the rep in your region, let us know the issue and we will look at it for you, and we can take it back to Hermes and make sure that those late payments are still coming through. It is very much part of our agreement for SE Plus couriers.
Excellent. So there has been obviously some problems still coming through where vans are arriving late, and I know part of it is down to the high levels of parcels that are now coming through. We still basically have got the equivalent of a peak, even though we're past peak. How are you all finding it, especially from a perspective of members and others coming on board for problems in relation to this?
I think a lot of couriers are tired. They're obviously hoping to have a bit of a break, and if they haven't taken any holiday, they've got a lot of people saying, you know, it's been relentless. You know, every day rounds are very, very large, and there's very large packages coming through again. I found in the last week that some of the size of things have been very, very big and should be upgraded or shouldn't be coming through at all.
Yeah, I think this has been a problem since almost day one of our involvement, where packages that are coming through look like a postable, and then you see it's basically the size of a house or needs a lumberjack to basically carry it. So obviously there is still a problem. A lot of it, I think, is down from what I can see to the businesses taking advantage, or people in the businesses being potentially lazy about how these packages are being priced up for onward transmission. The problem is it then creates extra time for all of yourselves to then get the banding changed accordingly. I know we've obviously got another problem over what postables look like from a perspective of whether you only deliver once and the like, because I think some people still are expected to return back. Something you might want to comment on, Ed.
Okay, we all know the phrase the packet racket, and I think there's a new one slowly being brought in, the unpostable. And as Steve said, you know, postables are supposed to go through the letterbox, and they are very much a one attempt only. Okay, let's be very clear about that. They are one attempt only. This has never been disputed by the company, by Hermes, never. It is one attempt only. Now, I am getting reports that couriers are making the one attempt only, and on your HHT or phone or BYOD, if that's what you're using, it is very much a first attempt, and you will have a final attempt on that delivery, which you can use. Now, once you return that back to the depot, I'm getting reports that these are just being sent back out with all sorts of silly messages on. 3 attempts haven't been made. That's not the policy, okay? If you have a problem with that and you are sending them back properly on a final attempt and you're getting them just back and back again, or indeed being threatened, because I've actually had some couriers threatened that if you don't do it 3 attempts, you will have your work withdrawn. That is absolutely not the Hermes policy, okay? Let me be very clear on that. This is not a Hermes policy. Let, again, one of your reps know, any one of us on here, we will then be able to take that to the company and get this resolved. Okay, it is an issue. We're not denying it. It is not an easy one to solve. Okay, and we need your support on this. We need to know. We need to have examples. I know one of our colleagues, Peter from the southwestern Wales, I think is the region. Yeah, Susie's nodding. He started a Facebook page for this very reason, so you can upload your pictures. The one thing we would ask is, if you're going to upload a picture, pull up the details of that parcel on the screen on your HHT or phone, and then photograph that in the parcel, with the parcel. One, it gives us the details, if we blow the photograph up, that yeah, it was definitely a packet. It also, with your phone or HHT, gives us the scale of the parcel. Yeah, because some people photograph a label where we don't know how big the parcel is. Yeah, we need that to go and challenge Hermes, and we are. Look, I'm not going to make no bones about this. We are challenging Hermes every chance we get, but we really, really need the evidence. Okay, we are not going to let it go. We are going to keep doing. We are going to keep pushing Hermes. It's so important, because this is your pay. This is your money that isn't being paid correctly. We are not going to allow this to continue. We will push the company to get it right every time it's brought to our attention. Okay.
Thanks very much for that, Ed. I don't know, Susie, would you like to tell us about some of the experiences that you've been coming or hearing about from couriers recently?
I I'd like to give you maybe an overview of some of the successes that we've had.
That would be terrific. Thank you.
I actually think it's important that couriers or people know that we're continually working hard behind the scenes. Even though we're full-time couriers, we're still working behind the scenes regionally and nationally to do everything that we can for couriers. So we've had couriers that have been wrongfully dismissed. We've had them reinstated. We've had DUs cleaned up. And I can give you an example where there was a DU in my region that had plumbing issues, which had resulted in the toilets overflowing into the site, and that had been going on for 4-5 weeks. That was cleaned up immediately once the issue was flagged to us. But we can only sort problems like that out if members come to us. We've had missing SOS payments paid, and we're currently in the process of submitting details for missing period 9 payments. So if anyone hasn't had their period 9 payment, if they want to email either Ed or myself with all the details, that went out on the WhatsApp groups, and it went out in Mixed News Brief on Friday, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday.
We've also had in the region of £192,000 paid in unpaid collections to couriers. And that's just some of our successes, and it shows what a massive influence the GMB actually has. Before the GMB, none of these things would ever have been achievable. Couriers were left on their own to fight their own corner. But now, as a collective, we can do that together.
This is all very heartening. A question has come in from Melissa Zacharides. Are the rumours true about pay cuts for people doing over 20 an hour? Saw on Diary of a Hermes Courier yesterday.
Okay, I'll go with that one because I'm very aware of these rumours that are floating around, and I know a lot came off the London WhatsApp group. Okay, at the moment they are only rumours. Okay, and I hope that is how they stay. What I will be doing, I will be asking the company tomorrow to actually try and clarify this. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Couriers have worked non-stop with peak volumes since March. Many couriers have had to have round splits in order to cope with the volumes. Couriers are working, I know couriers that are working till 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night to deal with these volumes. It's not right. Yeah. If the company are just saying, and the company aren't saying at the moment, I've got no evidence that the company are saying, let me be very clear about that. I will seek that tomorrow as a matter of urgency to see whether this is a company policy. Yeah, field managers, CDMs have been telling couriers it's 20 an hour. I don't know where that's come from other than the individual CDMs. Yeah. So I would ask couriers not to panic at the moment, but I think we're all aware that sometimes at this time of year, once peak's over, we do all get pay cuts, new processes in place, there's changes. The GMB are involved now. Yeah. Okay. And as Susie has said, we are working behind the scenes. Okay. But we represent you all. We will be asking tomorrow if this is true. If it is true, then we will have to deal with it. But at the moment, let's not panic. It is only a rumour. Okay.
Thanks very much for that, Ed. I think obviously one of the big issues is that we hear consistently questions and queries over pay, and this is probably the number one issue that we need to get, I think, from a perspective of members, I guess we need some stability. Everyone needs to know where they stand so they don't have to consistently chase to be paid what is really theirs. A lot of the time, I think we all hear from a rep perspective of issues that could be resolved if there was more time to resolve it and quicker responses. Ultimately, we want to see something a bit more stable obviously improved income, and the fact that is that people are working really, really hard to make a difference. A question has come in from Chris P. He says he's not a GMB member, but if rates to be cut for me personally, it would not be worth me doing any work as my rate is 53p a parcel. I'm SE plus. Who would like to pick up on that? Perhaps.
Okay, I'll pick up. Thank you, Chris.
Right.
And while we've got you on here, Chris, it is really worth joining the GMB, by the way.
Yeah,
See-
I agree.
See that message at the bottom there?
But apart from that, Chris, right, okay, there are lots of couriers that if their rate is cut, it won't be worth doing the job, which is shameful, really, when we have been key workers on the front line. You know, let's not underestimate the work we've done, okay? And okay, I'm going to stick my neck on the block here. We hear about paramedics and nurses, and their job is absolutely, it's a job I couldn't do. Their job is vital, right? Okay. But so is ours. Okay. We are key workers as well. We are keeping alive the retail industry in this company, right? Shops are shut. There is no way goods can be bought and sold virtually other than online. Okay. Okay. You can go to Sainsbury's, you can go to Tesco's, but actual just general goods must be delivered now. Okay. Shops are shut. Clothing virtually must be delivered. That is what we're doing, okay? We are actually keeping the retail sector very much alive in this country, right? Now, to be doing it and be looking at a rate cut, I think is unacceptable. And I think all my colleagues on here would agree it is unacceptable.
100%,
okay?
100%.
100%.
I am really hoping it is a rumour. But again, I will absolutely clarify this with the company tomorrow. And I will feed back to you all via the WhatsApp groups. And if you're not on the WhatsApp groups, again, let us know. We can get you on the WhatsApp groups. But I think this absolutely needs clarifying with the company, and then we can take it from there. I don't want to jump at a rumour that actually only remains a rumour. Okay. I would ask that if, sorry, Steve, go on.
No, I was just going to say the one thing I would say just about the WhatsApp groups. In London WhatsApp groups case, we can only put you on if you are a pre-existing member. We won't put you on if you're not. Just to say you've got to be in it to win it with us.
Absolutely. And I was going to say this at the beginning, but I think it's vital that it's put across at some point. For years, we have been individual couriers. Okay, we are self-employed. We work on our own. Some of us, like Susie, Steve, and Adam, go into depots where they see a very limited number of other couriers. Okay. But on a nationwide scale, we are very much on our own. Okay, you take things like Asda, you take Tesco's, Wilco's. They are all with other staff, a lot of other staff, all day. We don't. We're out on our own. So other than our WhatsApp groups and the little groups that have been set up, we get very little chance to act as a collective. The GMB is giving us that chance to act as a collective. One of us on our own can be ignored. A depot can or can't be ignored. We've had cases recently where depots, they've all stood together and haven't been ignored. There's a national network of couriers. Could we be ignored? I don't think so. But that is the most important thing, that we absolutely stand together on all of this. Okay. Yes, people like Adam, Susie, Steve, and myself, we are the ones who go and talk to the company. But it's only representing all of you, okay? Without you standing behind each one of us, we're going nowhere. And just as Susie has pointed out, we are now starting to get successes, right? But that success is because we now have a seat at the table with Hermes, okay? That's via the GMB, okay? And I think that's so vital.
I think there's some other successes that we've also had along the way, which are quite important, from dealing with deliveries of alcohol and how they should be handled. Health and safety in the sub depots, where we've asked for checks on everything from putting up the actual rules on health and safety down to making sure that there's fire extinguishers and other safety elements. Now, this is the other thing I want to say to you. If you're not seeing any of that, or you think there's a problem, please reach out to us as quick as you can. We want to make the difference. So we're here to assist. Our emails, as you might see when you go between each individual, will come up on the screen. I can show you like that. You can see if I remove that banner, you'll be able to see the email address for Ed. You can see, I'm just going to bring back in Steve. There's Steve's and there's Susie's. Adam basically is going to get any extra backup from us in terms of what we need to send to him. So that will make it all simple. But the point is that we are here and we are available and we want to assist. So you know, that's the name of the game. Please don't forget that if you want to ask a comment, if you just either go on YouTube, Facebook or Twitter, ask the question in the feed. We'll obviously try our best to answer it. We'll pop it up on the screen so everyone can see what's been asked. Obviously, we've already answered the other question in relation to late payments now. I think it might just be worth talking to Steve a bit about some of the work he's been doing as he's been travelling around and some of the issues that have come up and what he's doing to get fixes.
Yeah, right. I have been travelling around. I try to go and see as many depot visits as I can. If there's a problem, they come to me and I get straight on it. When I visit the depots, I check for fire escapes being clear, floor being clean, social distancing, general things for the depot to make sure it opens on time, this and all these sort of things. I'm there for the couriers to come and talk to me. They can come and talk to me. They can ask me questions about the GMB, holiday sides of it. What's the advantage becoming an SE Plus over a lifestyle? And I tell them, and to be fair, I'm having quite a success rate. Most people, I would say, when I go and do depot visits, I'd probably sign up probably about 6, 7, 8 people to the GMB every visit that I go. And I usually sign them over to SE Plus. They usually straight away in front of me go to SE Plus. So, yeah, we are getting there. And the way forward for me, I think, and for couriers, is SE Plus. I do think you really need to think about SE Plus. I think if you stay lifestyle, you're more than likely going to fall off the edge of the cliff come February. We can only do so much for lifestyles, but SE Plus, we take it all the way to the top. So my advice to couriers out there, if you're not already SE Plus, sign up SE Plus. Talk to me and I will talk you through it. It's not a problem.
I'll put up a banner shortly on that. I know we've got a couple of questions that come in. The first one's from Mark Turnbull. What's happening about all the couriers getting improvement notices for sending out incorrectly banded parcels?
Okay.
Sorry, Ed.
Okay. I was only made aware of this middle of last week, and I am still not got any couriers come forward. If you are a courier being given an improvement notice for returning a misbanded item, can you get in touch with one of us, please? Because we need the details. I don't think any of us have had a direct contact off a courier who's been given an improvement notice.
No,
we need your information. Okay. Then we can deal with it from there, and we will represent you. We will talk to the company about it without a shadow of a doubt. Okay. Because it is very much the company that must ban these parcels correctly. Okay. But look, any courier that's worried, any courier that's been threatened with an improvement notice, any courier that's been given an improvement notice, please get in touch with us. Okay.
Thanks very much for that. We have another question. Susan Fleet. Are GMB pursuing a COVID bonus for couriers? Amazon have rewarded their couriers in this way. We've only had a cursory thank you. I think this is something we had previously asked for. I don't know if you want to talk about this, Steve.
Well, I'm not aware of this bonus. Hasn't been made knowledgeable to me. I don't know if Ed's any more qualified to answer this question, to be fair. I haven't seen this one at all.
Okay. At the moment, we have put it to the company, and I think it's time we did it again. We've entered another lockdown. Again, we've got couriers working their socks off, and I think, as I'm right, we are one of the few delivery firms that have not offered a well, not us, Hermes have not offered a bonus. But I will say this: we are still in talks with Hermes, and we are constantly in talks with Hermes. So yes, it's something again we can raise again. And thank you, Susan, because I do know Susan. So thank you for that, Susan, and thanks for coming online today.
So another question that's come up from Andy Doncaster: can size of packets be more realistic, or one rate for all?
Okay, complicated one.
Right.
I think we've got to be really honest about this. We are not going to see flat rates. Okay, not at the moment. That said, I think it's something that we as a union still need to speak to Hermes about, because I think our pay is so complicated with all the bandings and the missed bandings and the upgrades. It is something we need to look at in this year. Okay, and we need to be talking to Hermes. It's not right, all these missed bandings. I think there are steps we can take if we can't get rid of the packets, even be it some sort of adjustment on the cap for upgrading, which makes it more worthwhile to the couriers to upgrade. But what I will say is, and what I was shocked at, was in a meeting with Hermes, they absolutely told us that there's a lot of couriers not upgrading. Now, my question is why? Okay. You have a system to upgrade your packets, and for those that are SE Plus, there's also an extra £5 a day for doing that. Okay. That's what, £120 a month. Am I right there, Susan? Your hour. Yeah, that's an extra £120 a month. Yeah. Do not let that slip through your fingers. You should be upgrading without a shadow of a doubt. But again, these are ongoing discussions, and they're ongoing discussions with the feedback that we get from each one of you. Okay. So just because you think we haven't done something or we aren't moving fast enough, still send in your comments on what you want us to do. We represent you. Okay. You are the GMB, not us. Okay. So yeah, we'll take that on board, and we will take that away to the company, and we will also do the same with the bonus.
Thanks very much for that. Another question has come in from Darren Price. My solar's drop time is supposed to be 9 AM, but due to higher volumes, it's more like 10 AM most days. Is it fair of Hermes to expect all parcels delivered when the lorry is late?
Anybody from sub-depots want to have a go at that, as I'm soulless? I can do it if you want. Okay. Right.
Well, you're solar, said.
Yeah. Okay. I'm soulless. Okay, but I still get a late van. Okay. Now, we would love to be able to wave a magic wand and all vans be on time. Okay. What this, I think, has other implications. That one of the things we are pushing for, and again was only discussed on Friday in a meeting with Hermes, that the sub-depot should open on time and time slots should be on time, without question, for one reason. During this pandemic, it keeps everybody safe. Okay? If you're on your time slot, there should be, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 10 of you on that time slot. But should something happen on that time slot, there's only those people affected, okay? Right? And we have not got a depot with 100 couriers in that is only capable of taking 10 couriers. That's why these time slots are vital, okay? It has ramifications both for your safety and the safety of others. So one, we are putting pressure on the company all the time. Subs open on time, even if the sort is stopped, okay? But again, we have to have a balancing act. I then push for a depot to be open on time. To stop the sort, I then get complaints from couriers saying they've got missing parcels. We can't wave a magic wand and it be perfect. We don't live in a perfect world, okay? And it's not, we cannot, if a lorry sets off late or a depot's late, there's nothing we can do about it, okay? We've got to be honest. Yeah, there's no point me sitting here lying to you, saying, yeah, we can go and sort it out. We can't. We can put pressure on Hermes management, and we are doing all the time. Okay, but I'm going to be very honest about that. Again, it was only discussed, and I personally raised it in a meeting on Friday. Okay, that time slots need to be on time. Okay, if they're not, or your depot's opening regularly late, get to your reps, get onto your WhatsApp groups, let us know, because the one thing that they always ask us when we raise an issue, whatever issue it is, if I go and say to Connor or anybody else, your depots are opening late. Oh, well, have you got any examples? If I go, well, I haven't. What can they do? If I can go and say Steve's depot is opening late, Adams is opening late, Susie's is opening late, we want it sorted, then I can put the pressure on. So if your depot is opening late, your time slots aren't being adhered to, we need to know. But we need to know, one, what time it should have opened, what time it did open, and more importantly, who stopped it opening on time. And that is very important. Who stopped it opening on time? Because I can go back to Hermes and say, this person stopped it opening on time. Why? So again, if that's happening, get onto your WhatsApp groups, get onto your emails. We're here to assist you.
Just got a supplementary question that came in from Mark Turnbull. Can we get weekly feedback on upgrades instead of monthly? Is this a possibility?
Not something that we've. I'll be honest with you, not something that we've asked for. Again, nothing to stop us asking for it. Simple as that. You know, we have a seat at the table now, which we've never ever done before. So we can go into a meeting and we can ask Hermes. Yep, we'll ask that in the next national meeting. Not a problem. Which is in February, by the way. So yeah, I'll put that on the agenda. Susie, can you make sure that's on the agenda for?
That on the agenda, yeah.
Susie's our agenda lady.
Okay, I was going to say the agenda is going to get longer and longer, I think, as we go on as well.
Yeah.
I think one of the other things that it might be just worth us just chatting about is the issues in relation to couriers who are being faced with issues actually at the sub depots themselves. We know that we've had issues for specific members where there have been problems. We are sorting some of those with the company as we speak, and we are getting some positive solutions. However, we do really want to hear from you if you've got problems. Okay. Just something else has just come up, which is from Mary Morgan. Will we be offered vaccine by Hermes as classed as essential workers and at risk every day? Well, I think knowing what's just happened in America with Lyft and Uber asking for couriers to get jabs, we've already written, or I wrote literally just a few days ago to Baroness Veer at the Department for Transport, who is my main go-to, and I covered off couriers and also the bus drivers, private hire, taxi and the like. And unfortunately, the response wasn't particularly positive. Almost you will have to wait your turn. Unfortunately, so it's far from perfect. Certainly, I think Ed and Susie can take it to the company and see what comes up from the company. As soon as we hear anything, we'll let you know on the various channels. I don't know if anyone else wants to comment on that.
No, I was just aware of your petition as well, Steve. I saw, so again, I think it's worth Couriers logging online. If you can put that up or advertise that, Steve, or send the link to me and I'll post it on our WhatsApp groups for Couriers to sign the petition, because I think we should be.
Absolutely. I'm also mindful there is a further question from Mark, and also we've I'm just going to go back, Mark, just come off the screen and just put up the thanks from Mary there that just came in. As Mark's not getting manifest until 10 a.m. and downloading manifest after receipt of all parcels is deleting parcels off machines. I think this has been a problem that's not unique.
Yeah, it is.
And I know the tech sometimes isn't brilliant, but this seems to be an ongoing story.
Seems to happen on a Monday. It's Mondays. It seems, as far as I'm aware, it seems to be happening a lot on Mondays. I don't know if this is regarding because the Sundays aren't being done. I don't know, but I will look into it. But as far as I'm aware, it's mainly Mondays we're having the problems with the manifest, and I suspect it's something to do with the Sundays not going out. I really do, and I will be looking into that.
Thanks very much, Steve. I think ultimately what we want to see and what we want to hear is how to get solutions on some of these aspects, because it can't continue in perpetuity where people come in on a Monday morning and then find that they've got stillages out the wazoo, basically. Some of the managers are going to have to take responsibility on this. I know the company thinks it's only a one-way street, but certainly I think there are plenty who feel otherwise. I've got a message that's just coming from Kimberly Lancaster, and it basically says, have Hermes given a reason why we haven't received a CSAT payment?
In a word, no.
No.
It's a simple answer. No, they haven't. Okay. It is very much part of the SC Plus agreement. And as you may be aware from Mick's newsletter, the WhatsApp groups, various other channels, if you haven't been paid your CSATs, which we know you haven't, possibly around 2,000 couriers are entitled to that payment under the SC Plus agreement. Get your details to either myself or Susie. It's been well advertised, and we will be submitting a claim. If you're not on the list, if you're not in it, to just go back to what Steve said earlier on, you've got to be in it to win it. So we need your details. Okay. We've had quite a lot come in since. Sorry, Steve, go on.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's the Couriers Money. I cannot understand why couriers aren't claiming for it. Get your emails in to Susie and we will get it back for you. We can't do it without the information. There's a lot of money to be paid out to couriers. You need to get it into Susie and we're fighting. It's as simple as that. If you don't get it in, we can't do nothing about it. You need to get it into Susie or Ed.
Can I just add that the closing date for this is now the 29th of January. So if I haven't got your details by the 29th of January, you will not be included in this submission to Hermes for CSAT.
There's just a message came up. I'm going to go back to front a bit here, which is just from Barry Stanley to say only 2 more weeks to add your name to CSAT claim.
Hello, Barry. Barry's one of our reps. He's the rep for the Yorkshire North Derbyshire. So yeah, Barry's always there like the rest of us. He's a national rep as well as Barry, and Barry is always there to help anybody. So again, if you have any problems, okay, it doesn't have to be me. It doesn't have to just be Susie. It can be Adam. It can be Stephen. It can be Barry. It can be Jason, our other rep in Wales. Bob, our other rep in Scotland. Speak to us. If we have the information, we can act on it. If we do not have your information for anything, whether it's a CSAT payments, late depots, non-van payments, improvement notices, for whatever reason, if you talk to us, if you give us the information, we can help you. Without that information, we can't.
So, quite an interesting question that came up from Mark Mesaw. Before I go back to Honza's question, could we have minutes of meeting with Hermes posted, please?
What we'll do, we'll look into that. Yeah, I can't guarantee that. But yeah, it's something I'll have a chat with Mick about. Simple as that.
Lovely. All right. So Hans has asked the question, what's GMG? GMB is the third largest union in the United Kingdom, about 620,000 members. And basically, we basically represent you in the workplace. We also offer a range of benefits. We have one of the largest legal companies in the country, Union 9, which we share with CWU, which is the Communication Workers Union. We have a list of benefits which is pretty long. Some of the extra things we now have are a system called GMB Extra, which gives you all sorts of extra benefit, money off cards, membership or access to various facilities, discounts on Fred Olsen, discount on National Express, discounts at some of the biggest theme parks and attractions, as well as free will writing and a number of other benefits. And ultimately, the union's here to represent you and protect you when you have an issue. And basically, we'd love to see you join. Hopefully, that gives you an overall answer, Honza, but please feel free to reach out to any of us if you've got further questions. So a question from Darren Price. On busy days, I find it hard to upgrade due to the time. Is it fair I'm not paid correctly due to not having time to weigh, measure and upgrade? It adds too much time onto my day.
Simple answer is no, it's not fair. Okay, it's not right. The parcel should be banded correctly. The GMB have never said otherwise. What we are doing is there is a system. It's not perfect. You know, the perfect way would be all packets, postables, standards even banded correctly. Okay, but it is a system where you can make sure that you are paid correctly. And if you're SE Plus, you do actually get paid for that time extra. I know it's only £5 a day to cover that cost, but it is an extra admin payment. Could I just, Steve, go back to Mark Meese's question about the minutes of the meeting?
Yes.
Can I just point out that, and again, people, couriers may not know, hopefully that we are getting it through bit by bit and informing them this. Each month we have a regional meeting with the divisional manager of your particular division, and we're going to post out emails via Mick and via Susie to make sure that any items you have for regional things you send in, and we will discuss them at that meeting. And that's it every month, okay, from now right the way through till the end of October. Susie is also putting together an email that feeds back on each one of those meetings. It may not be the minutes, but each issue that we've had on the agenda will be sent back out to either the person concerned, if it's a private matter, or generally, if it's a general matter, to each courier in that region, so they know exactly what's been said and done, what's been rectified, what hasn't, what resolutions we've reached, so it keeps couriers up to date. We've lost you, Steve.
You know what? I muted my microphone.
There we go, Steve.
Martin Credlin, look, thanks for the thumbs up on the tech. We're really pleased you're liking it. You also had a question: why does the third attempt never come up on the HHT for the next collection? Susie, could you perhaps answer this?
I've never noticed it, to be honest, on the next collection.
Me neither.
Martin, if you'd like to reach out to us, I'm going to just take this down for a second. If you can see the email addresses on the screen, or you can obviously go back into the video at a later stage if you can't write it down straight away, because these videos are going to stay there. It says he's shielding at the moment, and basically he has I'm shielding at the moment. At the end of 2 weeks off, can I apply again? So it's sort of a supplementary question there as well.
Does he mean can he apply to the emergency fund? Is that what
I would imagine? Yeah. I would imagine that's what Martin's asking. Yeah.
Yes, you can, Martin.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes, I didn't quite understand that. Yeah. Yes, you can.
Wonderful. I'm just going to go back to Kimberly's question now. I sort of went out. Can we refuse Unmanifested as we're having big issues with Newmarket this week?
Okay. This has been a bone of contention for a while. Okay. Now my answer is, I know couriers are saying in our contract it only says we accept manifested parcels. My question is, why would people want to, or why would couriers want to reject unmanifested parcels? If you scan them, you are paid for them. Okay. I've been a courier for 26 years. I think 26 and a half, I think I was told recently. In all that time, I have never, ever been unpaid for an unmanifested parcel. Okay. Now, I'm just going to bring Susie in here because Susie had a very interesting time in the last lockdown where I think she had, go on Susie, how many unmanifested did you have that day?
On one particular day, I had 190 manifested and a further 110 unmanifested parcels just on one single day. And I was paid for every single unmanifested parcel. Now, I could have sent them back. I could have sent them back unmanifested. And what would have happened? They'd have only appeared the next day with my 300 parcels the next day. So I took them, I did them, and I was paid for every single one. In fact, in that particular month, I probably had about 600 unmanifested parcels. Now, if I hadn't been paid, I'd have noticed 600 missing parcels.
Yeah, you'd have noticed them.
I would have noticed, but I was paid for every single one.
Can I just get you to clarify, Susie? What did you do with those parcels? What did you do to receipt scan them and action them?
I receipt scanned them on the HHT. When I delivered them on the HHT, I never had them on Couriers. Never, ever have I added an unmanifested parcel on Couriers Online. They all go through my HHT, and every single one that goes through my HHT has an end of life and is paid.
Wonderful.
Just one of the things I want couriers to bear in mind, and again, I've had this argument and discussion with some couriers. Like Susie, say she had 100 manifested, 100 unmanifested. I've had couriers complain about handling that volume, okay? But what would you have done had they have all been manifested? The volume would have been the same, okay? I do appreciate it does take a few more seconds to scan unmanifested while you're waiting for the green bar to go across and download the details, okay? But again, the big argument is that you're not getting paid for them. I've never been unpaid. Susie's never been unpaid, okay? We have checked. We've challenged couriers right across the network. If there's an unmanifested parcel you're not paid for, tell us, and we will challenge it. We'll go and get your money back for you. I've never had a courier come to me yet. Not one. And we also challenged Mark Holland, the divisional manager for, he keeps moving about the North West, isn't he, Susie, now? Midlands. No, he's the Midlands. He's the Midlands. Yeah, he's the Midlands, isn't he? I should have known. And he has quite categorically said that, yes, unmanifested parcels go through. And again, if any don't, let us know. You will be paid. We will guarantee you that.
Perfect. There is a message up from, I think, Barry. And just
our good old friend, Barry.
Yeah, so basically he's just saying that if you are tuning in from Yorkshire and Derbyshire, they have an RDCF on Tuesday, so get your questions and problems to them. You can use your WhatsApp group or email them ASAP.
Can I just add to that, Steve, that we actually have one in London on Wednesday as well?
Yeah. So
can I add to that that the RDCF on Tuesday also includes some of Steve's region. It includes my region, Midlands and East Coast, and it includes Susie's region, Northwestern Irish, and and the London one on Wednesday.
So that will.
And follow it while we're on that. Briefly on that subject, we've got one in Scotland the following week. So anybody that's watching from Northern region, we've got one the following week up there as well.
Excellent. So this is a monthly occurrence, and these are meetings we attend. Generally, we'd attend in person, but we're actually doing these remotely at the moment. But the idea is to try and bash through issues and fix things where they need fixing. Question has come further. Just a point from Martin Credlin is I think the issue is the planning. If you know what you're getting, it's great. But when you get extra, it's upsetting. And this is a valid point.
It is a valid point. And I'm aware that people have children to pick up from school. Again, if it's happening a lot, let us know. Okay, I mean that one of Susie's that day was ridiculous. Over 100 unmanifested. If it's happening a lot, let us know, and we will get Hermes to look at your depot.
I think Adam can probably speak to this in certain respects as well, because obviously he has some challenges on top of his regular work, which means that he has has to certainly keep that work-life balance. Would you like to just come in on that, Adam?
Well, I have two severely autistic children. I'm surprised my youngest hasn't come down and tried to get in the picture, to be fair, to see what I'm up to. But it's exactly having a work balance. And if you have got lots of unmanifested parcels or late openings and things like that, it can add a challenge to it. And I know lots of other people who are in a similar boat, and where before they were planning their days ahead and they knew what times they roughly were finishing. Now that's sometimes not necessarily the case, but I always say to them, always try and help them if they've got any issues. Like we've said before, like if rounds have been split because they've had such large workloads, in order for them so they can actually still A, make enough money on their rounds, and B, be able to have that work balance.
Wonderful. Thank you very, very much for that. Ian Bell asked a question in relation to membership rates for full-time. If you're full-time, then the rate is £13.70. If you're part-time, then that is £7.96. So the £13.70, we're just waiting for some extra qualification whether you'll be able to write that off on your tax or on your payments, because overall it is an outgoing for membership. So we'd love to see you on board. You can see just at the base of the screen scrolling along the link to join us. We'd love to see you. A couple of extra things. Martin, I'm going to just go to Chris P first. It says basically, what are the possibilities of having at least 50 pence minimum for packets, for example, on town rounds, and minimum rural for 75p as an example? Oh, Ed, you're muted, I think, at the moment. Can you hear us now?
Sorry about that. Sorry, that was my fault. Just my dog was barking in the background. Okay, not something that's been discussed, not something that's been put to the company. What I would say is this year, I think a lot of things are going to be discussed. Okay, I know Mick has lots of ideas. Certainly, the reps have lots of ideas on what we need to do with pay, because the pay is complicated. It's clunky. I mean, again, the SOS payments this last month have not been paid. There's collections still not being paid. There's missing deliveries not being paid, and it's something we do need to address with the company. So there are lots of things up in the air at the moment with the pay, and there's a lot of discussions ongoing.
Thanks very much for that. Martin had a point over Normanton sending out large and unmanifested. Why does it happen? Yesterday, 80% extra unmanifested. My guess personally is just the weight coming onto the system of packages, and the fact that there is just an almighty level of parcels coming through, and I think it's just too much, maybe.
The one thing I would say about Normanton, sorry, go on, Steve.
I'll say it's all to do with the volume. They're just, at the moment, they haven't seen these volumes that we're getting, obviously because of the pandemic, and it shut down. Everything is coming through us, and at the end of the day, it's all to do with the volume.
The other thing about Normanton as well, it's a relatively new depot.
Yeah.
So again, but I noticed Barry's put further down that he's going to add it to the RDCF, which is the one that me and Susie will be attending as well. So thanks for that, Barry. We will seek an answer for that for Martin.
Now, I'm mindful that this afternoon there is a further meeting for people who are looking to potentially become reps. For those of you who've already put yourself forward, all you need to do is go to the link that was sent out this afternoon by Mick Ricks, and then if you're interested in being a sub-depot rep, we'd love to have you on board. Please reach out to me. Our email addresses are just here. I'm mindful the hour has gone really, really quickly, and we'd be delighted to hear back from you. If you're interested to do some more of these, please let us know either in a WhatsApp group, email us, or drop a line on any of the systems we're using today. But once again, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you very, very soon. I'll just let everyone say a quick goodbye. Oh, Ed wants to just say a message as well.
Just before we go, I think we owe Steve Garlick a big vote of thanks because he's put this together with his new system. So thank you very much, Steve, for opening it up across the network as well.
Thank you, my absolute pleasure. We'll see you all soon. Please keep safe out there. Please keep contacting us if there's issues. As you can see at the base of the screen, please feel free to join. We'd love to see you, and have a safe time ahead. God bless.
Thanks, all. Take care.
Bye.
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 From sunrise until sunset, and dusk until dawn. Every minute of every hour of every day. On the front line, it's key workers keeping our country moving, putting themselves at risk to keep others safe. For the vulnerable, for the sick, for the young and the old. We rise to the challenge. We care, we protect, we help, we fix, we deliver for everyone. We will get through this, and it's thanks to our key workers. We're proud to represent heroes, and not all heroes wear capes. Key workers deserve recognition, protection and support. Get us on your side. Join us today.